Next question. Explain lock box system. So let us have understanding of a new concept that is given a name as lock box system. I request all of you to pay attention. Why lockbox system is implemented, how it is implemented. These are the two things that we are going to understand once again. Why it is implemented? Answer for that is, listen carefully, to reduce receive float. Dear students, by implementing the lockbox system, receive float can be reduced, and with that, so the blockage of the funds can be reduced, and with that, so the carrying cost can be reduced. So this is the purpose. Let's say why lockbox system is implemented. Now, how does it work? Let us have understanding. For that, I am giving some explanation to you. I request all of you to pay attention. Let us say that there is a company in Mumbai which is considering implementation of the lockbox system. Now, first of all, this company which is there in Mumbai, which is considering implementation of the lockbox system, is required to see that where its majority of the customers are located. It has to see first of all where its majority of the customers are located. Suppose they have the majority of the customers in North India. Suppose they have the majority of the customers in North India. Then what this company will do? Let us say that there is a company called ABC which is considering implementation of the lockbox system. So what this ABC company is supposed to do? ABC's company is supposed to see where the majority of the customers are located, and majority of the customers are located in North India. Then what ABC Limited will do? ABC Limited will, listen carefully, look for a post office which is near to its majority of customers, and post office that provides lockbox facility. So basically what ABC Limited will do, ABC Limited will search for a post office which provides lockbox facility and it is near to its majority of the customers. The company will look for a post office which is say near to its majority of the customers, and at the same time it is providing a lockbox facility. After that, what the company will do, listen carefully, the company will hire a lockbox at such post office. So the company will say, approach to that post office and it will hire a lockbox. Now ABC Limited will instruct all its suppliers, I'm sorry, will instruct all its customers that on the due date, instead of sending the payment to me, I request all of you to send the payment directly at the post office lockbox. To send the payment at directly post office lockbox. That is the way all customers will be instructed to directly send the payment at the post office lockbox, which is hired by the ABC Limited, which is near to its majority of the customers. This is what the third thing that say the ABC Limited will do. Now we understand that say all the checks are lying over here. So what will happen? Listen carefully. ABC Limited will have its tie-up with State Bank of India or some other bank like this, wherein ABC Limited will authorize State Bank of India that say you can go to the post office lockbox, you collect the checks, you send list of the check to us and send all the payments directly for the clearing. I repeat the fourth step. Fourth step will be like this. What will happen? So the company will authorize its bank to collect checks from the post office lockbox. List of the check will be prepared. That list will be given to the company and all those checks will be sent for the clearing. This is the way the lockbox system will work. Now, how does it work successfully? Or how does it help us to reduce the float period? That is what I am discussing with you. I just repeat these steps. What is the first thing that the company is supposed to do? The company is supposed to hire a lockbox, say at a post office which is near to the customers. Second, the company will give instruction to the customers that say on the due date, instead of sending the payment to us, directly send the payment at the post office lockbox. Third, the company will authorize its bank to collect the checks on behalf of the company, send list of the check to the company, and these checks will be sent directly for the clearing. These are the steps with which you will implement the lockbox system. Now, how does it help to reduce the receive float? Let us understand. Friends, basically there are four types of the receive float. One is billing float, another is the posted float, next is the internal control processing float, and the last is bank processing float. Now, as far as the billing float is concerned, billing float is indicating internal inefficiency of the company. So the billing float cannot be reduced, say by implementing the lockbox system. In order to reduce the billing float, the company is required to work efficiently. The day on which the goods are sold, immediately you set the invoice. That is the way you can have the reduction in the billing float. Now I want you to write in the chat box whether the posted float will be reduced or not by implementing the lockbox system. We can say that yes, it will be reduced. Why it will be reduced? Answer for that is very simple, that the company has had a lockbox which is near to its customers. That is the reason you will be able to reduce the receive float. That is the first advantage that you will have. What do you think? Internal control processing float will be reduced or not? Friends, we can say that the internal control processing float will be almost eliminated. It will be almost eliminated. Why? Because you can see that over here, say what State Bank of India is supposed to do. State Bank of India is supposed to go to the post office, collect the checks. After getting the checks, a list is required to be prepared, which is to be given to ABC Limited, and these checks will be sent directly for the clearing. No verification process is to be made. No updating of the records is to be made. You just have to prepare a kind of Excel sheet and you're required to send to the company. That's it. So we understand that internal control processing float will be almost eliminated. As far as the ABC company is concerned, ABC company will complete its internal control process from the list of the checks. And if at all there is any discrepancy in the check amount, then in that case, later on ABC Limited will approach to its customer asking that the bill amount is so and so and the check amount is so and so. You have claimed cash discount, however, say you have made the payment delay, so you are not eligible for the cash discount. something like this. So all those internal control system procedure is required to be followed later on. So internal control processing float will be almost eliminated. And friends, the bank processing float will also get reduced because of the reason that say you will be able to say get the clearing say as local clearing instead of outstation clearing. You will be able to get the clearing as the local clearing instead of outstation clearing. That is the reason so you will be able to reduce the bank processing float too. So this is the way so you will be able to reduce the float period. Dear students, you may have a point like this that, sir, this is an era of the internet banking. Then we have like UPI payments. In that, say, why do we learn something like this? This is seems to be very old and this seems to be very outdated. I agree with all of you friends. That's in the era of net banking and all the online transactions. So this seems to be very old. However, we have to study this as a financial management concept. Everywhere the banking system may not have been improved the way we have in India right now. We of course know that say, the America is far ahead than India, but still in America, a course of CPA, that is say Certified Public Accountant, in that say they still teach this concept. I teach in the CPA also, I teach in the CFA also, I teach in CMA also. All these United States courses, in that say still this concept is taught by them. We have to understand this as a concept. And one more thing is that say you may be appointed as a finance manager of a country, that is of a company which is in a underdeveloped country. Let us say that say in Tanzania or Uganda, something like that. In that, so the banking system may not be improved the way we have in India. So this concept may be helpful to you over there. So we have to study this concept properly, and this is really relevant, say in the practical life for certain countries where the banking system is not developed. I request all of you to write an answer along with me. LBS, lockbox system. In that, write down first point. LBS, lockbox system, is implemented with an objective to reduce receipt float. Second point, LBS can be implemented as under. In the rundown A, the company will look for a post office which is near to its majority customers. B, at the post office the company will hire a lockbox. C. The company will instruct all its customers to send payment at post office lockbox. D. The company will authorize its bank to collect checks from post office lockbox, comma, list of checks will be sent to company and checks will be sent for clearing. Before further dictating the answer, I just want to tell you that say how lockbox system is implemented is only what I have dictated to you so far. That the company will look for a post office which is near to the majority of the customers. At the post office, it will hire a lockbox. The company will send instruction to the customers that send payment directly to the post office. Now, third point, with implementation of LBS, comma, the company will have following advantages. In the write down A, postage float is reduced, comma, as post office is near to customer's place. B, internal control processing float is almost eliminated because bank has to prepare only list of checks. Full stop. Written further in that, remaining verification work is completed later on by the company. C. Bank processing float is reduced because local clearing will take less time in comparison to outstation clearing. Full stop. With paragraph write down, billing float is internal inefficiency of the company so it will remain same unless there is prompt billing. Fourth point write down, LBS will be implemented if savings in carrying cost due to reduction in blockage of funds is more than cost of implementing lockbox system. Full stop. Second part of the question, concentration banking. Dear students, the concentration banking is with the same purpose. There is no change in the purpose. That say concentration banking is applied for the purpose of reducing the float period, receive float precisely, and with that said, there will be reduction in the carrying cost. With that purpose only the concentration banking is applied. In concentration banking, what will happen? Once again, the company will search for search that say where majority of the customers are located. The places where the majority of the customers are located, near to that, the company will have its own collection center. Yes, this time there is a private collection center which the company would be establishing. Remaining process is same. Customers will be instructed that on the due date, instead of sending the payment to us, directly send the payment at the collection center which is near to the customer place, so the postage float is reduced. Second, collection center will prepare list of the checks and said that list will be sent to us and checks will be sent directly for the clearing. So in that case, the internal control processing float is almost eliminated. Third, local clearing will take less time. So we will be able to save the bank processing float. These are the three advantages that we have to compare with the cost of implementing the concentration banking system. If the advantage is more, we should implement, not otherwise. Read and answer the question. First point, CB, that is concentration banking. First point, purpose of implementing concentration banking is that it will be able to reduce receipt float and with that savings in carrying cost. Second point, over here the company will have its own collection center strategically located at different places for getting collection from customers. Full stop. Third point, customers will be instructed to make payment directly at collection center. Full stop. The company will be able to reduce carrying cost. full stop. If it is more than cost of concentration banking, comma, it will be implemented not otherwise. Friends, I am not dictating the entire that is note to you once again, because what will happen, the same thing, that the customer will be instructed directly to make the payment at the collection center. Collection center will prepare a list will be sent to the company, so the company will do internal control procedure from that list. Checks will be sent directly for the clearing. Bank processing float is reduced. Why? Because it is local clearing. Internal control processing float is reduced. Why? Because the concentration banking does not have to, the collection center does not have to prepare, does not have to check any internal records. So all these things are same only. So I have not dictated them once again to you. The important difference between both of them is, in case of the lockbox system, we have the post office and we have bank, and with that say it is entirely operated. In case of the concentration banking, it is the private collection centers that we have at the different places for the purpose of collection of the receivable.